Good evening, everyone, and welcome to In the North Bank and the Newsroom. It's our short form Arsenal bulletin show. Trying to keep you fully up to speed with everything that's happening, certainly over the last 72 hours, 48 hours over the weekend. Obviously not too much, barring match day, but what an important weekend it was. Obviously, we currently, as we stand tonight, are top of the Premier League at Christmas. It's not going to change, and we're going to break down exactly what it means without hype, without panic. As always, just get involved in the chat, and I'll bring up some of the comments as we go. But as I say, it's going to be short and sweet, and we'll rattle through this as an update. But yeah, top of the league. That was sorted in Merseyside. A 1-0 win away from home against Everton put us back above Man City with a small but important gap at the top. I know from the build-up of the game, I know it was a fairly nervy one, I suppose, in a way, because obviously we know we're in a tough position where we're going away. Man City, obviously, before the game, had registered a resounding victory over West Ham. Not really unexpectedly, but we know going to Everton is a tricky game. Obviously, that negates the fact they've actually moved, obviously, to the new stadium as well. That adds another level to it all. Again, the fans should be well up for it, and that kind of thing as it goes. So the atmosphere, everything like that, should make it a real tricky game, which it was in a way. But I heard so much after the game, and look, this weekend's been absolute carnage for me. From working away to parties to going into London, having a few drinks with friends, and then literally working overtime as well, to then fit it all in. Managed to see both games. I watched the Tottenham game and then the Arsenal game straight after with another friend, and wow, it was just like it's just a whirlwind. And from the snippets I kind of caught on social media, and there seemed again like a mass overreaction again. I was like, what's the talk about? I don't know what's better, whether or not we're watching football back from Arsenal in the 80s or the 90s, or this. What's better? It's like, well, if you didn't really follow football back in the 80s, that could be an excuse, but I don't think there's any kind of comparison between the kind of football that was played in the 80s as opposed to this. What I asked for at the start of the game, I asked for control. I asked for game management. I asked for just a performance that the chaos is taken away. And I thought it was a very good all-round performance. As said, responding after Man City has obviously put pressure on going ahead in the table. Obviously, everyone still thinks that there is a real importance on getting to the top at Christmas time. But yeah, I thought it was about being in control and making sure that we were secure, we were solid. And even though the performance, look, at the end of the day, the result says 1-0. But on another occasion, look, we've hit the post twice as well. And you're suddenly looking at that. Don't tell me that you'll be moaning or anyone will be raising questions about performance if we were 3-0 at the end. after that. So I thought it was very good. Like I said, I think we were fairly dominant. Yeah, we have to ride a little bit of the tide with the home team. But I thought, again, overall, when we picked up the ball and we won the ball back, barring the odd kind of slip pass or a misplaced pass, we done very well. So, yeah, all I ask for at this point, I don't care 100% about performances now. It is about 3 points on the table. Don't matter how it happens. We have to get them done. And it is a sign. If we can still get those points when we're not performing well, then so be it. That is a sign. Let's hope that is the sign the right way. So, obviously, it doesn't guarantee being top of Christmas that you're going to win the league, but it does tell you who's kind of setting the pace in the league at the start. And yeah, look, we have lost a few points, but it means nothing because again we've seen points go. There was a time where everyone had lost their heads when Liverpool had taken a 6-point lead at the top, and everyone then suddenly thought, "Oh, yeah, that's the season done." It's not done by a long shot, and everything ebbs and flows. So just relax, Arsenal. Just look, we're in a cup quarter final tomorrow. We're top of the league. We're top of the Champions League. We've got the FA Cup to look forward to next month. Life hasn't been this good for a long time. So embrace it. Get behind the team and focus on supporting your team. But does Christmas No.1, top of the league, matter to you guys in the chat? Yes or no? Let us know. Drop in the comments. Subscribe. Please like the video. Would really help. But do let us know your thoughts. So the match itself, look, it wasn't flashy, and that's fairly important on that side. It was always going to be, I think, a nervy, tight game. But I think on that side, but I think it was testament to the way we played, how we didn't allow the game potentially to run away from us. I thought we handled the ball really well. The midfield was really good. And I think just generally from even like Gyökeres, I think the runs, the movement, it was a handful. And obviously there was the decisive moment, the first half penalty. I'm really not sure why O'Brien had gone up. I think he's about 6'4", 6'5", isn't he, or sort of roundabouts, and he come up with both hands, and it was blatant handball on that side. But yeah, I look at the first one as well. Even before that, he had a kind of little shove on Gyökeres before the penalty was given. That wasn't. Again, it's a similar kind of thing now, where it's you're kind of seeing those decisions. You saw it in the Tottenham game, and you look at the arms in the back. And I was watching it with a Spurs fan, and I was saying it was, I think, Liverpool's first goal. It was similar. Well, not hugely similar, but the same kind of moment and game where the ball's coming in and the defender's in front. And then there is a push on the back. Yeah, there was only one hand on this push with the Tottenham game, but Gabriel with Joel Linton, there were two hands. And if there's not a push, you don't go under the ball. And both times that's what happened. Was there a lot in it for the Gyökeres one? Probably not. Do you think he probably could be maybe a little bit stronger on that side? Yeah, maybe. But there's still the question there. Why would he go down really in that moment if he's got a chance of scoring? I don't know, but yeah, it was an odd one. And then we look into a little bit later on, and Everton have their penalty shout with VAR. Let me know your thoughts in the chat about that. I mean, we've been on the wrong end of decisions. We've been on the right end of decisions. And when you look at it, yeah, look, the ball's nowhere in control. The ball's been knocked up in the air. All right, the kick has come through. It's kicked him. Is it affecting the current play? And I know the rule doesn't really negate that side of things. If you're kind of kicked in the process of playing the ball, that should result in a foul. But it was similar to Jesus at Villa Park, where he goes through past two defenders and nicks the ball and then gets kicked, and then nothing happens. So there's numerous times that's not been given as a penalty on that side, and we've had quite a few of those kind of things. Really, in all honesty, I think the lion's share of decisions, I don't think we particularly had. I've said numerous times, I feel like we have to be shot almost to get a penalty with regards to fouls. I think there's a lot more clubs that do get those softer kind of decisions and more regularly as well. But yeah, look, Gyökeres was given the spot kick, and boy, did anyone need a goal just to kind of almost set himself, and that little buzz, that little bit of confidence, and it was a great finish. But as I say, it was a real good, well thought out game by Arsenal, and obviously Arteta, the setup. You have to be disciplined. So defensively, got to be solid. Got to dig in. Calafiori done well. Everton did provide pressure, but didn't really have sustained dominance over us. And we'd pick up the ball and we'd just take the sting out of it. And that's what I say about game management. Just there's no chaos. There's no crazy moments. Yeah, it was a grown-up display. It was a mature performance away from home in a very high-stake game. Can you imagine the headlines had we lost the game and City still be 2 points clear? You wouldn't have liked to have been reading it, and people would be loving it to be saying it. So, yeah, really good performance. We weren't chasing chaos. We weren't going mad, trying to force things. Yeah, but we still hit the post twice. So, yeah, we do need to take more chances. We do need to fashion those chances. But it shows that we are creating those chances. But just before we go into the chat, I just want to just go on about Gyökeres. Yeah, I said the penalty wasn't just a goal for him. I think it was a moment. I think, again, it's his first goal since coming back from injury. And he stepped up when we needed someone to be calm and get the job done. And, yeah, after the game, Gyökeres said, being top of Christmas means nothing yet. And that's the mentality you want in a title race. Yeah, there's nothing done, dusted. Very level, very calm. Get the job done, 3 points, move on. So, yeah, No, I was thoroughly impressed with how we started. But yeah, let's just move on that side. I'm going to dip into the chat now. Just yeah, Charles, mate, how are you? Yeah, well, I'm all good. Yeah, I'm heading out soon, but yeah, it's been very good. Back to the land of the living. Tell me, Victor will be successful, or else how can the club be so stupid to sign such an incompatible profile? No words, system, or player. Sometimes something's got to give, right? Well, look, things take time, Charles. Look, you can only. I said at the start of the season, look, my number one choice was Isak because there was no risk factor in him adapting to the Premier League. How wrong could I be on that side? Is it to do with Liverpool's setup, their fabric? If he come to Arsenal, would he have been a different signing? I just said that we weren't able to spend 50% of our purse, our transfer kitty on one player, knowing that we had multiple areas we had to improve on. And he fitted the bill. Yeah, it was a real good buy. And I'm sure he's going to get it right, but it is going to take time. Again, look at Sesko. Sesko hasn't hit the ground running at all either. And out of the three of them, Gyökeres has got the best stats, the better stats. So I don't think there's anything stupid about the signing. I think at the end of the day, I think he will be successful. So I think we just got to keep backing him. You keep playing him and then keep feeding him. And eventually he will get the right balls, the right runs, and he will get those goals. So just keep going. Did you say Champions League? Yes, because it isn't a group anymore, is it? It is actually a league. So, yeah, I did say Champions League. It's, yeah, so that's fine. It is what it should be. Mark, big up, Paul. Yeah, Stonewall penalty for Everton. As I say, I've, yeah, I would say potentially that was, but again, look, they all should be. Jesus, we've had numerous. So yeah, it is what it is. But as I say, my only thing about it was if the ball was in play, then and it was kind of almost around the box rather than just straight up in the air, then yeah, that would be a penalty. But yeah, it was all up in the air and all over the shop. Mark says O'Brien is Brian's favourite goalkeeper. Yeah. It probably is. Yeah. But yeah, totally controlled performance, Mark. As I said, it was very grown up. It was a mature performance away from home. What you need to take 3 points. Yeah, I said this as well. I said I think there's about 20, 25 passes in that move, and that's gone from one side to another. And if he runs onto that ball and just walks onto it and curls it in, everyone's wow. But I can't believe people are saying about it was a boring game. I don't get it. But yeah, he's has a broken leg as well. I'm not sure if it's confirmed. Is it confirmed? I've not seen it as yet, but it did look like knee. But yeah, it wasn't pretty. But as I say, again, there's a big word in all of this: karma. And I look at it and I said, that was my first choice. But had he signed for Arsenal, but he would have kicked off the stink like he did for Newcastle, I'd be more disappointed on that side, because I don't think any player should do that. So, yeah, it's almost in that way. Yes, something's come back to bite you. And, yeah, don't like seeing players injured, but as I say, yeah, don't down tools. Don't do it just to basically spite the fans that love you, pay your wages. Yeah, I'd be the same with our club. But yeah, sad for him. But as I said, it is what it is. Yeah, we have to move on, and so do they. Charles, Saliba knows how to feed Gyökeres more than Odegaard. I mean, I don't think it's just one player. It's a whole unit. So you're looking at that 4 or 5 players going forward. Yeah, when we go forward with defence, then yeah, it's got to go into the midfield, and the midfield have got to look to find those passes alongside the attackers. So yeah, it's not as straightforward as that. And then you try and do that as well with the clubs that do play the low block against us as well. Again, there's lots of intricacies within this. It's not as simple as just knock the ball behind a defence and then he'll run onto it. Again, you don't always have that luxury. But that's my thing. I think you'll have to go, and it will move on. But I think everyone is getting better on that side, and certainly sharper. And I think once we get those other players back over the next 2-3 weeks, I think we'll be fine on that side, and you'll start seeing a bit more fluidity, I think, with everything. Mark's confirmed it. It is a broken leg. All right, last one for Charles. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. Odegaard, where should he play? Drop deep, an anchor, even when inverted fullbacks are present, versus him staying between the lines. I'll let Declan and Zubi worry. It's a tough one. It is a tough one because, again, you want to see, well, with Arteta's way of playing, there's a lot of fluidity. And at times you'll see Rice drop in between the central defenders. Yeah. You'll see Zubimendi. Yesterday saw Odegaard. And I think everyone has their moment in the way of being able to keep the game moving and in control. I don't think there is a set kind of, you are stuck here. That's what I kind of like about it. There's a lot of trust put in those players to do the job. It's almost like, we know these kind of areas. This is where we need to be. Doesn't matter who you are or who does it. Do it at certain times. And I think it mixes around fairly well. Again, look at markers, who's following who, and then does that pull players out of position as well? Does it create chaos for them? But as I say, as they get better, as they get more sharper as a group, I think they will get better. But yeah, ideally, we need players higher up to support. But we've seen with Gyökeres playing, Saka becomes a little bit more freer. Trossard gets a little bit freer. So already you're occupying the defenders that would normally be kind of obviously making things a lot more tighter. So that's what I think really at the minute. And as I said, with the players coming back in again, we're not even talking about Havertz, and that's another story for another show. That subs bench is going to be absolutely brimming once everyone is back. So yeah, let's move on. Mark says it is a frustrating topic as he is dropping deep. the time he stays in that 10 and his thing. I think this is it, Mark. I think at the end of the day, I feel he's more comfortable with the ball at his feet and able to kind of look up, move around and do it than, say, Eze. Whereas Eze would be that one which would play maybe a little bit higher up, because I don't think he's got the defensive kind of part to his game. If there were two choices of defending, I would have Odegaard over Eze. I think he tracks back. We've seen, obviously, with the goal conceded at Villa Park. Again, switch off. Yeah, obviously Odegaard isn't, say, even the best at it defensively, but I feel there's a bit more from him on that side. So, yeah, I think it is just getting the whole balance right of everything now. As I said, once players are back fit, healthy and playing, look, we've had obviously Madueke coming in for Saka, Martinelli, obviously Trossard, and it's like, well, you look, if they don't play, then you basically put Eze on the left. So, yeah, I don't know. I think defence really causes a problem as well, because again, we are so reliant on the defenders, and obviously the build-up coming from Saliba and from Gabriel. Obviously, Saliba coming back helps, but yeah, that affects the way we play, bringing it out and playing. So that's where I'm going on that side. So let's just get back on to the last little bit here. Arteta was speaking post match, and it was again interesting, very controlled, very humble. I would say, yeah, not chest beating, no statements, just focus on learning whilst winning. Yeah, it's get back to the basics, get back to doing things efficiently. And then when those players come back and we are solid, again, everything should go. But narrow wins are where titles are often decided. As I say, imagine us going in, having lost that game or whatever. Yeah, the headlines. But we've got on. So, yeah, control over chaos, 100%. Yeah, this game was all about the game management. And I think overall the squad maturity across the whole board, I thought, has improved massively. This is how this Arsenal side is learning how to win in different ways that hasn't been seen previously. Yeah, we've lost games here and there. But, yeah, we know Man City are right there, zooming out. Yeah, they're going to apply the pressure. We have to respond. Same as when we play first, we apply the pressure and they've got to respond. Yeah, that's what is going to matter. There's some big games going on. There's a long way to go. But I think we are showing we can handle the rhythm of the race again. Do we look more mature this season, or is it still too early? Or because of the injuries, it's kind of masked that feeling? I mean, I say if we had a full squad and we were still doing it, is it different to having, say, players coming in and then having a couple of bad performances on the back of that? Yeah, I think we are understanding what needs to happen. I think, and that's a gradual step. But yeah, just going to the last little chats here. There's a little going on here. Why does it feel with Eze? Essentially, we are a little more open-minded versus when Odegaard. Essentially, I still have faith in Odegaard, but captain, his choices is what. Yeah, okay, I can't understand that. I don't know. Eze's I think Eze is more of a direct kind of runner. I think he does like to play with the ball, run with the ball forward. Odegaard is a bit more kind of that kind of, let's kind of either look, use, recycle, move the ball. Doesn't mean he's boring. Doesn't mean he's playing safe. I just think he just got a bit more of a all-round vision of what we're trying to do, and he's very good. I think he's very good with the ball. Yeah, you didn't really always see him kind of lose the ball or do that. There'd always be that kind of little turn. He's quick with both feet. But as I say, I think they're two players, and again, they can complement each other. And like I said, when we talk about overplaying players, one comes in for another. Again, just depends on the players and who we're playing against. So that's what it is. Yeah, Mark says Odegaard is amazing in the final third. That's what where we need him. Dropping deep is frustrating to watch. But yeah, it is. But as I said, there needs to be some balance. There needs to be some, I would say, I think it's more balance. And again, look, they do move on and they do move forward. I mean, it switches around from Rice, Zubimendi, whatever. They could be switching all over. Who goes forward, who drops back. Just depends on how the game dictates. I hear you, mate. Odegaard is a brilliant player for us. However, the frustration is growing with him dropping deep. Yeah, well, as I said, it's one of those. I think it's there. I don't think it's a mass problem as such. I don't think it's the cause of our problems. I just think we need to kind of just still be feeding that striker and getting the ball into that area. And even just, as I say, does that mean potentially we need to get someone closer to him? And that would then suddenly come in and suddenly say, look, all right, an Odegaard playing off, or if he's holding the ball up, again, that's something he has to kind of improve on a little bit as well. Can we get someone alongside him? Just remember Giroud and when he used to hold up 2, 3, 4 players, and he'd hold players off, and then you'd have a Cazorla or whatever just right next to him, and then he'll be switching the passes across field. It's almost like it is a little bit fragmented on that side, just where he's kind of almost isolated on his own. But as I say, it's a work in progress. So I think it will get better. Mark agrees as well. I think it will kick on in the second half of the season. I'm very comfortable with Arsenal at the minute. Yeah, I'm very comfortable as well. And yeah, I've been longing for this kind of squad depth for a long, long time. For the first year, Arteta's got a squad that is capable of going all 4 fronts and is comparable to a Man City squad 4 years ago, where he started trying to compete with. Mark said, "Are we down for the parade? I hope you're starting these plans." I was born ready. It's fine. It is what it is. We'll see. But just a quick one with the table as well. I mean, just we've got Brighton just after Christmas. City have got potentially tricky game against Nottingham Forest. You don't really know what they can do. I mean, they did beat Spurs, but that's Spurs. But yeah, it's a different kettle of fish at the minute with City at the minute, and Villa played Chelsea as well. That's going to be an interesting one, and certainly some points dropped either way on that side. Other than that, it's moving on. There's 2 big games. I mean, obviously the Brighton and then Villa straight away afterwards. If we can get 6 points on that side, then we go into our 20th game in good form. I mean, 14 wins, 3 draws, and 2 losses. I mean, you take that, and certainly on good ground points wise. So yeah, just keep believing, everyone. But yeah, that's it really. It's been a little bit quiet on news wise. Anyway, it's going to be good. Yeah, we're going to have a quiz next week. I believe we need to sort it all out. It's going to be a little bit tricky because obviously Christmas. Obviously, I want to wish everyone involved with the channel, all you guys watching the shows live. Yeah, wish you and your families a very good Christmas and New Year. Hope health is good and everyone is fine. So go and enjoy with those loved ones and have a blast, because yeah, 2026 is coming around pretty quick. So yeah, please like and subscribe. We're doing some amazing content, as Mark said, especially the big Sunday quiz. So come and get involved. There'll be details of the quiz on X. So if you're a bit of a quizzer, you like a few kind of quizzes, it doesn't have to be generally all Arsenal. We'll have different ones, different genres, but there will be another Arsenal exclusive quiz soon. So just bear with that on that side. But yeah, that's been in the North Bank newsroom. And as I say, hopefully short, sharp and factual. A good bit of response in the chat, so it's taken it a little bit over time on that side, but yeah, it's been good. If you enjoyed the format, drop a like, please subscribe, and we'll be back in the next couple of days with more bulletins as further news develops and anything of decent value comes out. So yeah, Merry Christmas, everyone, and have a good one, and good luck to the Arsenal tomorrow, and hopefully we can have a semi-final to be preparing for. So yeah, thank you everyone for watching, and yeah, onwards and upwards, and we go from there. So see you later. Merry Christmas.